Hello YouTube, it's Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? Hope you're doing well this Sunday. It's Sunday, July 31st, 2016. Wow. July went through really quick and really hot. Now we get into the hot part of the summer. Man, it's been hot here on the East Coast of the United States, but it looks like it's been hot everywhere throughout the United States. Anyway, it is, like I said, Sunday, July 31st, the last day of July. And so I thought we'd do the pocket dump deconstruction. Since we did it every other day in July, every other day in June and May and April. I think we started about 5 months ago. I keep losing track. All I know is we're doing it again today because we do it every single day. I know a lot of you aren't going to watch it the exact same day, but I give a date every day just to remind you, every single day. Every single day. We're talking about knives and stuff that fills the pockets or the pocketbook and make us happy. So let's talk about this deconstruction for today. By the way, before I get into the deconstruction and the pocket dump, a couple of things. First, I know a lot of you are new to the channel. Welcome. Thank you very much. If you've been watching or this is your first time watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. All of us have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, and when we do, it's going to be Spyderco Palooza. We're going to go through about 400 Spyderco knives. So that's what's happening. I love Spyderco and I have a big collection. But for those of you who don't know, Monday through Friday, what I do is I do the pocket dumps right before I get dressed and run outside. And so Monday through Friday, I run to work late. And so I do this right before I run to work and I upload it. So it's always in the mornings, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, of course, I lay around. I'm a guy. I do all kinds of stuff. And then when I get ready to go out, it's usually in the afternoon or late afternoon, early evening time. And I'm looking for what I'm going to stuff my pockets with. Then I do the pocket dumps. Later on the weekends, always right before work on the weekdays. Just want to clarify that. Let's talk about the pocket dump. Today, I'm going to throw on my Apple Watch because I left it on the table. I'm being honest. Also, I want to get it a little bit more wear, and I'm going to be doing a lot of, that's why this is a little earlier than usual. I've got a lot of errands to run. Don't want to lay around. You know how it is, and I do it on Saturdays all the time when you lay around and you keep going, yeah, I'm going to get to that. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. And then after the nap, you don't get to it. So today I'm trying to get up and get some stuff done. And I like to just keep connected. Know how many people are watching the Instagram. By the way, this Instagram, this right here, what you see after I throw it on my desk, this is the desk, and I rearrange everything to look all pretty and purty. I take a picture of it, posted it on Instagram. I actually posted this on Instagram just 20 minutes ago. I did. At Keith Kevin Ken. Go take a look at it. Check out the feed. Turned my iPhone 6S Plus from photo to video, and now we're going to talk about more about this deconstruction. Oh, this is a special smoke. I talk about nowadays all the Cuban cigars, all cigars, not just Cuban, have all these multiple bands. Back in the day, back in my time, it was just one band, but man. And then I always show my double bands because these are some very good smokes. And it's Sunday. Sunday is where I get a chance to spend more time just sitting and thinking before the work time this week. And this is going to be a rush week for me. I'm going with a blended scotch. And yep, yeah, it's one of those old Um, man, I just blanked on Coach, my old Coach thin wallet. Weekends, I'm blanking. And the coin for today, you know, it's amazing that I am blanking, and I have got to stop blanking, you guys. I really do. Um, I just blanked. Uh, you know, the guy that did Tom Sawyer and everything. Uh, man, why am I blanking so much? It's crazy. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Tom Sawyer, author, famous, celebrating 100 years after he passed away. This is from the U.S. Mint. I'm getting old, and believe me, I haven't even started drinking yet. It's crazy. Mark Twain is the name. Okay, Mark Twain finally got to me. That's the coin, my Mark Twain coin, celebrating his anniversary. That's from the U.S. Mint. 1 ounce. That's my lucky coin for today. I promise I'm not going to have a brain fart. I promise for the rest of this thing. I can't promise you that. Let's take the coins. Let's take the knives off of this word pad. Man, I know I love all the different kind of pads, but these word pads are kind of special. I like the colors that they come in. I really do. Now let's talk about the knives for the carry today. You know, it's Sunday, and I always start kind of with knives blah. I have 2 knives that got away this time, and you'll see what I mean. I started with blah knives, and then I remember, wait, it's Sunday, and I always want to get a little fancier on Sunday. I don't know why. I think, you know, growing up, and you guys probably remember this too, no matter how formal or informal your family was, Sunday you always had to get at least clean blue jeans. My thing is that when I was growing up and I was young, at least blue jeans without holes in them, which was very difficult for me. And so I like a fancier carry on Sunday, even though it's a non-working day. And man, you can't get any fancier than this Spyderco Copa. Oh man, this is the Spyderco Copa 3-flavor Copa is what they call it. It has pearl, abalone, and black pearl in the scales. Is that something else? Just purty. Some people will say that's over fancy, but man, when you're talking about a gentleman's folder like this, and what I like is how they frame that craziness on this Copa. You guys know the story of the Copa. In fact, I have done a separate video on my Copa collection. It's a full Copa collection. I'm very proud of it. Spyderco in 2005 started releasing every year 2 or 3 Copas a year. They wanted to do the ultimate gentleman's folder collection. I wasn't collecting in 2005, so I got all of mine on the secondary market, and sometimes they can get a little pricey. But man, I found them in great condition. That's the great thing about a knife that's released to use, but also as part of a collection. When someone says, hey, I'm going to do a maker, or even a custom maker says, I'm going to do a collection of these, when people get them, they hold on to them. They don't mess them up. And so here we are in 2016, where I got my last Copa to complete the collection, and all of them are like good as new. All the boxes are like good as new because people knew they were collectors. They have little certificates in each box. They're good as new. So if you want to pick up a nice folder and you're not as crazy as I am, just dying to get all 16 of them, just pick up one. They come in all different shapes, not all different shapes, all different scales on them. So let's talk about, real quick, the Copa. If you're unfamiliar with it, they started in 2005. They ended after the 16th Copa was released. So they're this is a limited series of 16 knives. Each and every knife has the same profile to it. So that means that each knife has a real nice 2.4-inch blade. They're all VG10 steel. They all have this Spyderco leaf shape to them. Oh man, I love, look at this big choil. Even with my fat Michelin Man fingers, look at this. Look at that choil. It just feels nice. It's just beautiful. So that's 16 limited. And then each and every knife in each of those 16 knives are limited to only 600 pieces worldwide. That means there's only 599 of the three flavors Copa that's out there. Oh, is that pretty or not? Same everything. It has that very strong back lock. I mean, listen. Oh man, every time I pull out a Copa, I use my Copas as keychain knives. I just have a real small silver keychain with 3 keys on it. And man, when I pull it out, this is the kind of thing you want to set on your desk. Oh, it's just really nice. Stainless steel bolsters. Again, that back lock. Each and every one of them has this wonderful clip. It really works, but you know, it's so small, you can throw it in your pocket. You could put it, a lot of times, if it's not a keychain knife, I put it in one of the smaller Chris Reeve leather folders that I get with my Menundi. Just to protect those scales, which are so nice. But again, good steel. It is a very workable knife. It can do all of your stuff, whether it's cutting your fingernails or doing little things. I really love the clip. Again, you could take it off. I know people who take them off. But I love that they have it with this big open design so that it doesn't take away from all the different scales. Anyway, man, I went long on that. But I'm loving the Copa, and especially this 3 flavors. I haven't carried 3 flavors in a long time. That's the Copa. That's my fancy, it's Sunday. That's my fancy keychain knife. And then I went, and I do have a knife that got away from that. I went way fancy compared to what I started with. Same with the medium carry. Way fancier than what I started with. The knife that got away is my medium carry as well. This though, oh man, I had to get all 3 of these. This is the Chris Reeve small Sebenza-21, and it's special. Chris Reeve did 3 types of these, as far as I know, and these are the modern ones. 3 types of these, and that is, this one right here is Raindrop Damascus. They have the Raindrop Damascus blade at 2.9 inches. And then shiny titanium on the show side only on the show side. And then they carve in a nice etching of what's on the blade. So there's that Raindrop Damascus on the show side as well as on that blade. Just a nice knife. And of course on the back side, on the lock side, yeah, it's the Chris Reeve integral lock with that clip, and they just kept it. Usually, because this isn't an inlay, they didn't find the need to put any of the shiny titanium on the back side, and I like that. I do. Everything else, of course, is all titanium. This is my medium carry. It's the Chris Reeve small Sebenza-21 with the matching blade and etching. I said there's 3, and I had to get all 3 of them. They also have this in the Sebenza-25 and the large Sebenza-21 as well. This one, the small, I just love. Again, it's kind of, it's kind of a gentleman's folder, but you know how sturdy these things are, the Sebenzas. They have them in ladder Damascus as well as basket weave Damascus as well. I like all 3 of them. So sharp too. That's the medium carry. I did have another knife, and we'll talk about that as a knife that got away. And then, just to remind me that I'm a man, okay? Not just a gentleman, a man. You know what? This freaking Umnumzan. This is not the Umnumzan, by the way. This is the Star-Tac. The Star-Tac is the collaboration between Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical. And they name it the Star-Tac. Those are the same folks that brought us the Starbenzas. Starbenza 25, the Starbenza 21. And then when they got to the Umnumzan, they couldn't call it a Starbenza because it's not a Sebenza. So they call it a Star-Tac. You can tell, and it's only available through Wilson Tactical. And you can tell that it is because even with the Umnumzan, you know, the regular pattern, kind of a diamond pattern, this has that starburst, just like the Starbenzas does, that starburst pattern, which is really Wilson Tactical's brand. On the back, you see the Wilson Tactical brand as well as the Chris Reeve brand. They have a special bead as well that has Wilson Tactical on it. But it's that nice starburst, which really makes this, gives that nice little extra grip. Again, all of the Starbenzas and the Star-Tac is a little different because it carries over to the lock side. Usually the lock itself. Usually Chris Reeve stays away from any pattern on the lock, even on his inlaid knives. But in this case, they carry it all the way through. Oh man, I really like this. I love the Umnumzan. You notice every time I pick up an Umnumzan, I just like have to grab it. I mean, Chris Reeve is real good. You know, I love Spyderco because of all the varieties. And I notice a lot of makers are upping their number of knives that come out yearly, like Spyderco and some of the other bigger production knife companies. Chris Reeve settles on just a number of variations. And yeah, he has the inlaid wood and the carbon fibers and all of that. But he just concentrates and makes what he makes just nearly perfect. And that's what he does with the Umnumzan. I never pick up an Umnumzan without just feeling power. I have to do this. I literally have to do this. Oh, I love this Star-Tac. That blade, of course, is the Umnumzan blade. 3.7 inches, S35 VN steel, because that's how they're rolling right now at Chris Reeve land. That is the Star-Tac, the collaboration between Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical. Wilson Tactical sells really reasonably priced guns, and so they have a lot of tactical knives as well. That's the thing about a Chris Reeve Sebenza Umnumzan. Man, they are perfect EDC knives, whether they're large or small, Sebenzas, or of course the Umnumzan. But they also are very tactical knives. It's funny, you know, when people collect things, we always slice everything so thin so people can talk about it. You know, this is tactical, this is EDC, this is that, this is that. Look, if it's a knife big enough and you know how to use it, almost all knives are tactical. All right, except for a butter knife, and I can even think where that could be poked and give you a tactical advantage. But man, these Chris Reeve knives are just so solidly built. You can use them for anything. That is the Star-Tac. Oh, I hate putting down that Umnumzan. Have you noticed? I like that. I like gentlemanly fold or carry, and then, hey, man size. I also loved it because I had to run down earlier. Yeah, it's Sunday and I get this special delivery thing, this Blue Apron food thing, because I can't cook, but they walk me through it. No, this isn't sponsored. It's just I love it as a man who can't cook. I can cook almost. But anyway, and you know, when I go down to my building's mailroom, they always want me to bring a knife. It was the Star-Tac earlier this morning. And man, they loved it. There you have it, folks. That right there made up my Instagram picture that I just posted a couple of minutes ago. But you know what? This really here, what you're watching, ain't Instagram. No, it's the Keith Kevin Ken YouTube channel. And this is the knife. These are the two knives that got away. They got away. I've been wanting to carry these two knives. I'll show you the other one later. But man, I just hadn't. And then I was going to carry it today until I said, I need to up my game a little. It's Sunday. You know, my grandmother would not have been proud of me to go out on a Sunday just ratchet, right? So this is where we go. This is the Lil Lum, Lil apostrophe Lum, which is just nice. And you are right. This is taken out of the Chris Reeve Bob. This is taken out of the Chris Reeve, Bob Lum collaborations. You know, Bob Lum has done the Chinese, the late Bob Lum, just a fantastic custom maker. Man, I wish I could get one of his custom knives at some point. This is the Chinese folder. This is the smaller of the Chinese folder. Bob Lum and Spyderco released a Chinese folder. Just imagine this profile, but bigger, as part of the Ethnic series. They then released a medium-sized one, and they have a number of variations on them. I have the Precision medium-sized one. I don't have any of the large ones. He passed away, and what Spyderco did was he had put together a small little Chinese folder, and in memory, Spyderco took those and put together this, the Lil Lum. Oh man, it's just a little wonderful small knife, 2.3 inches. You know, it'll work in Chicago. It reminds me of the Spyderco Chicago knife. Man, I haven't carried that in a while. I need to carry those. Man, there are so many great knives in my cases. Anyway, this is, like I said, 2.3 inches, VG10 steel. It has this black G10 on it. I was going to carry this as my keychain knife, and I hadn't carried it in a while. This is new. They just released it 2016. The blade, if you are a big Lum folder person, and there are some that have the complete with all the variations, you can see that this blade is a little fatter, and the reason is they had all of the design stuff from Bob Lum, but they couldn't find it, so they wanted to rush this into production. They got it into production, then they found the original stuff, and they said, oh my goodness, this is a little fatter, but let's go with it anyway. And I kind of like it. I like that belly, especially if you're going to use it as an EDC knife. Perfect if you're going to throw it in a purse or just drop it in your pocket. This is wonderful for that. You know, that little pocket in the jeans? I just love the Lil Lum. The other knife that got away is another Spyderco, and man, I love the double bevel. This right here, it literally, the three knives to the right, that was going to be my carry. Little plain, huh? But special. I mean, I love these two together. The double bevel is, again, a collaboration between Spyderco and just a famous custom maker named Bob. This is Bob Tazula. You know, Bob Tazula was Spyderco's very first custom maker that they collaborated with. I have his first knife in that case that we'll look at once we hit 100 subscribers. Man, obviously he's a great one. I can't get one of his customs either. When they pop up, I go, I swallow loud. They're so expensive, but man, they're beautiful. I love this. It's simple, but talk about a great EDC knife. This is, again, the Spyderco double bevel. G10, black G10 scales. Not too rough, but just a nice scale. It has jimping. going up and right here at the handle as well. And double bevel, you bet it's double bevel. I love it. Talk about a perfect EDC knife. First, the profile is a thin profile. The only thing that goes up is the Spidey hole, which is great. Smooth as silk, but it has this hollow ground close to here, and that's great because, you know, you can do some real good, harder work with that hollow ground blade right here, and it's closer, so you can really get control of it. And then the second bevel is that Spyderco full flat ground. So, you know, with slicing and cutting, which is really nice. And then, of course, I love a tanto blade. I just do. I don't know why, but I do. I do. Talk about, you know, Bob Lum has great tanto knives. But, man, this is a wonderful Tazula. It really is. Tazula, Bob Tazula and Spyderco, again, he was one of their first. He comes back a lot and works with Spyderco. I love all of his knives. And that, my friends, that's the pocket dump this Sunday and the two knives that got away. Thank you very much for watching this pocket dump deconstruction. Guess what? We're going to do it again tomorrow. We are. We're going to do it every single day. Don't forget the thumbs up just really helps me. I love your comments. I read them the day, almost the moment that you leave them. I just haven't responded. I'm always late in responding, but I will respond. I will. Thank you very much for all of those. Don't forget to thumb this up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. We're making our way to that 1,000 subscriber level. And when we do, yeah, it's Spyderco Palooza. Spyderco Palooza that'll be happening. Hey guys, thanks again. You have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.